No. Sorry, just choking on some food there. I apologize. Good morning. How are you? Hello. How are you? Good morning. However you want to translate it. Okay, so y'all know I've been passionate about informing y'all about ICWA. What I did, luckily, was I able to find was a lawyer who is actively on the case. Now, before you get your tissies all up and running and you try to harm, it is not in any way against what she's doing, because she's reporting after each argument, letting the rest of us know, all of us natives know, what's going down and why Mrs. Holland, the head of our Department of Interior, is putting it down. Okay, let's jump into it. Now, it's going to be a month-long coverage. Like I told you in the very beginning, the argument for ICWA is never going to be easy and clean. It's reason, and I think one of the reasons why they're keeping it so hush hush is because it's going to be, they're trying to control as much as possible, because some of the things that they're saying that I've begun to heard have been so incredibly triggering to me personally because of my experiences when trusting another human beyond their racial upbringing. I, for one, am not into the racial division. I don't think that's appropriate. We are all human, and if you can't love me and my culture, and you don't want me to love you and your culture, then you are displaying a malignant hate, and that's on you. So if you get me pregnant and then you don't want me to show my child where they're from, then maybe you shouldn't have slept with me and had a whole relationship and stuff. That is all nefarious on your end. But I'm going to leave my drama out of brass taxes. And I think that's a good thing. And how that it goes back to, I want it to have more coverage. I do. So here it is. Here's what's happening. They will be in parts.
Supreme Court oral arguments have now concluded. I am going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what happened in today's oral arguments. First up was the petitioners, or the individuals who brought the case before the Supreme Court for the decision. Representing the individual petitioners, or the parents in this matter, were attorney Matthew D. Gill, and representing the state of Texas is Texas Solicitor General Judd Stone. I'm going to play some clips from their oral arguments before I give a breakdown on how I think the oral argument went and where I think things are going to go.
What do you do with that line of cases, like the Act of 1888, setting the evidentiary standard for proving a marriage in cases involving an Indian woman and a white man? That wasn't limited territorially. That set an evidentiary standard. Or the Trade and Intercourse Act of 1834 set burdens of proof in all trials, whether on reservations or outside of reservations, about property rights between Indians and non-Indians.
Congress said things like there's no resource that is more vital to the continued existence and integrity of Indian tribes than their children. They constantly passed regulations regarding children, Indian children, as a matter of tribal integrity, self-governance, existence. So why isn't that enough to bring it within the scope of their plenary power?
Reservation Indians to make their own laws and to be ruled by them. ICWA has nothing to do with that.
Counsel, I'm struggling to understand your argument. For the first half of it, I heard policy complaints. It took a while for me to even hear the words equal protection or Article 1. And I guess I'm curious, first of all, which do you think is your better argument?
Where
legally, not the policy arguments might be better addressed across the street.
Justice Gorsuch, we are here to advance both arguments, but
I think General Stone, it would profit us that if you would address your standing
This
in
is
this
very
case.
Common,
particularly since
court,
it seems that to
where
the
they
extent
go out
that
of their
you're
way
representing parents
to be a
or,
douchebag and
potential
destabilize
parents,
you. They emotionally batter you
they
the
can
entire
represent
way.
themselves, and I think it'd be good to get an explanation of your standing.
For example, we have to determine whether or not an individual is an Indian child pursuant to the regulations in the statute. Aside from that, there's a unique conjunction of constitutional obligations here that because
Follow for part 2, where I dive into the respondent's answer and give my opinion on how I think this case is going to turn out.